So that's Admire Daytona in the red, and then on the right there with the white bridle, that is journalism. And we were instructed earlier that he was going to be going to the gate today.
It's Michael McCarthy right behind him there.
Yep, he's keeping a keen eye on it. And this is just a routine walk into the gate. Gabby, what can you tell us?
Guys, we are by the Derby gate all the way in the chute. We don't want to get too close and obviously give the connections the respect and privacy that they need. But yeah, journalism is in the gate right now. He's schooling. He's just standing in there. We have the 2 Japanese horses in Luxor Cafe and Admire Daytona. They're just kind of circling behind. And Michael McCarthy is looking at us right now with binoculars. I wonder what he sees. Hi. Guys, you want to talk about handicapping trainers? That's all you need to know right there. I've never seen Michael McCarthy in that good of a mood.
I just feel like Michael McCarthy and Bill Mott are 2 of the straightest-faced people in the game. They wear really close to the vest. They have the favorite and the second choice in the Derby. And I don't want to say uncharacteristically, but I feel like they're both letting themselves enjoy the moment a bit.
That's why you never judge a book by its cover, because that's the public persona. What goes on behind. It's kind of like Top Pletcher's the same way as well. I mean, they're a little different away from the camera. Okay, this is something you will never see in America racing, okay? You will never see a horse work 5/8 and then go and stand in the gate afterwards, right? Isn't that the Japanese horse?
Yeah.
You will never ever see that.
Wow, that's crazy.
Right?
Yeah, I've never heard of that.
Now, why wouldn't we ever see that? Why don't they do that in America?
Because you've done a huge workout, and then another thing is timing, right? You got to get the horse back to the barn and the next set out, but you want to get him back and cooled out and bathed and everything. But they walked on the track, they walked around here, so they basically half cooled the horse out behind the gate and taking care of it. Now, maybe this is the way to do it. The horse has got some of the edge taken off him, and now he's in the gate, right?
And to your point, Simon, the crazy part too, I feel like with American horses, like after they work, they are jacked up. You know what I mean? If you would bring a horse to the gate after working a half or 5/8,
you're asking for trouble, maybe.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I feel like they would be jogging in place. They're just so revved up from previously working. That's actually impressive to me that they were actually able to stand in the gate after breezing. That's pretty remarkable.
You would never take a horse. The only time you would take a horse to the gate to do this, Mike, is in between works. You wouldn't do it on a work day. You would do it during the middle of the week, after a couple of days galloping.
Like journalism.
Yeah. I mean, that's bodes well. I mean, they're standing there a long time, too.
Yeah.
For a horse that's just worked 5/8.
You know, one thing of note, too, so this is the Kentucky Derby starting gate. It's because, remember, they used to have the one gate and then like the auxiliary gate on the outside. Now it's just a 120-horse starting gate. But with that, it's skinnier in there. So the normal starting gate, I'm not sure exactly what, but this is a lot tighter.
Really?
Yes, it is. Because
it's not like you guys had a lot of wasted room in a regular starting gate either, right?
Yeah,
it's pretty tight in there.
Yeah, it is pretty tight in there, but this is even tighter. I think the ledges for where the assistant starters stand is skinnier. That way they can compile all 20 in there for them not to have that auxiliary gate.
I mean, and the only horse that would be maybe affect adversely, American Promise, right? He's so big, right? Trying to get him in there.
And that's why I think it's so good that guys stand, but before they start on Saturday, just so they can kind of get used to the confinement of it, just because they're so used to the other starting gates.
There is that Kentucky Derby gate. Gabby, it's a 20 stall gate, and we didn't have that 5 years ago.
No, and Joe is spot on. I'll show you in a minute, but the stalls inside the starting gate are actually extremely narrow, and we'll kind of show you the components inside of the stall to the starting gate. But yeah, as Joe said, it's 20 horses. I know Churchill Downs kind of spoke with the head starter here and went and did some research overseas, because obviously horses or races overseas are known to have big fields, bigger starting gates. So that's kind of where the origin story of where this gate came from. But if you want to follow me in through the starting gate, I mean, guys, I'm what, 5'3"? I don't know, something like that. This is extremely narrow. So the horse would be in here, obviously, jockey on top, and then you would likely have one assistant starter on either side of the horse trying to keep the head straight. Yeah, so it gets a little tight in here, but there's definitely enough room in here, obviously, and I think it just makes it a more level playing field now that we don't have that auxiliary gate.
Yeah, that starting gate, Mike, they didn't. Most of the starting gates here are made in the United States. They had to have this shipped over from Australia. If you're familiar with Australian racing, the Melbourne Cup, 25 runners, right?
Yeah.
Big, huge starting gate, 25-stall starting gate. That's where they went. They had this specifically designed, flown from Australia for this reason. And I don't have a problem with it being narrow, actually, because it actually eliminates some of the risk. More space, more room for movement,
That's
right?
a great point.
When you put a horse in a van to ship, when you put a horse in an airplane to fly in FedEx, the stalls are just exactly like that. They're 6 inches either side, so they can't
get in trouble.
They can't be moving around at 30,000 feet in an airplane. You want them kind of contained in, and limit the space. So once they're used to it, I don't think that's a problem.
So there are numerous horses standing in the gate as things stand right now.